was working. Because your boy screwed up before. And also all the titles are also screwed. It was basically the last live stream was rough. Was a roughy. Okay. Let's see. Sending out the data as we speak.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. I think we should just play Okada's music the entire time.
Yeah, it didn't update this.
Who says no? Is she wearing a wig or does she have brown hair? No, she's definitely wearing a wig. Julia, don't mess with my fucking head. This has to be a wig. Ba-da-da.
While I'm here, let me just quickly test this audio real quick.
I didn't even watch Dynamite yet, but I've heard things.
Yes, Dynamite. I like Dynamite.
I heard Dynamite was good, except for I just heard the end was absolutely wild.
Yeah, if you like the ending of Rampage, you'll like the ending of Dynamite.
Did I watch Rampage? Oh, I did watch Rampage. Okay, interesting.
I mean, that's basically it.
Look how beautiful this belt is. Can you see it? No. Here we go again. You see that? See that?
Oh yeah. It's just you holding up an actual like belt you have, a belt like a belt you own. Look at this beautiful belt.
Houston, we have a solution.
Okay,
Can't wait to talk about Okada burying his own company. I love it.
Yes, we are going to have the show.
We're going to talk about a lot. I'm just going to stop talking until we get there. Are we streaming? Do I need to act like I'm paying attention?
We are streaming, but I'm trying to verify.
Oh yeah, we're on Twitter. I literally saw me holding my hand as I was checking to see if we were streaming.
I'm trying to update the Twitch title. See if I can do that live. If not, I have to end the stream and then redo it.
Oh. It's okay. Oh, a little fancy over there.
Mm-hmm. This is Ringpost Radio Nights.
It is nights. Usually it's before I'm even fully awake. Now I have to release from work, so this is just going to be me getting angry. It's going to be great, and not because of work, because of professional wrestling, which is great.
Yeah, this was a week.
Wild week. Every promotion that's of note gave us news, pretty much. All the major promotions gave us news.
Good and bad. Good and bad.
Well, yeah, it's never just good.
Yeah. We can't it's wrestling. You can't have a good week of news.
No, never. There's always something bad.
Yeah. Come on, Google Chrome, help me out here, guys.
Sweet Caroline.
Google. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I can get. No. Okay.
Why do I have so many messages?
Okay. What's it called when it's like you won't get taken down from some sort of illegal thing? With music, like
pirating?
No, like music. Like I want to play music that isn't copyrighted.
Streaming. If you say it's streaming, it's all legal.
Okay, I'll just do this.
Sorry about this.
This is a commercial. Dang it.
I was gonna say this is not Okada's theme song.
No, I don't know if I can do that on Twitch.
Who's gonna figure it out?
Okada, New Japan.
If Okada's watching this, I just want to tell him how based he is.
TV Asahi. Yeah, baby. Welcome to Ringpost Radio Nights.
We can never do this again. We're already retiring.
Grab a smooth glass This is us. I literally typed smooth jazz, and this is what came up.
I think the dancing makes it worse. You like reminding me of Spider-Man 3.
Ooh, baby, a nice Pinot Noir.
This is terrible.
Look at the legs on that wine.
Oh my god, you're lucky I was looking forward to the show. I think I would have left by now.
Okay, let me see if I can actually edit this broadcast options. Here we go. This is all I've needed to do, by the way, is log in to change the title of the Twitch stream. This is what's causing all of this nonsense. This title may conflict with Twitch's moderation policy. I don't know what that means. Okay. I don't know why that was the case, but it conflicted with Twitter's policy, or Twitch's policy of moderation. I guess the title was too long. That's probably what it was actually telling me. Yeah. There's 2 viewers on Twitter right now that are just enjoying Ring Post Radio Nights. Oh yeah.
Just absolute pain.
This is the show right before we start recording. Oh yeah.
Are we ready yet?
Yeah, I'm ready in a second.
Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Let me I didn't put this up yet.
I was fucking born ready.
And then, all right, let's get the show on the GD road. We got a bunch of stuff, not a lot of news. We got
hopefully not a lot of news. I mean, if we really wanted to go into news, there's a lot of news. There's, MSK, there's Charlotte and Becky, there's probably more that I'm not thinking about.
Do we want to put Charlotte Becky in the news break?
Yeah. Do you want to go full into it, or you just want to news it?
Well,
or
it's
not
like
at all it?
The only other news item was the AEW TBS tournament announcement, and then we have the G1 Climax final, Bound for Glory, Crown Jewel, and a Halloween Havoc preview, which we can bring up MSK
and the G1.
I did the G1 Climax final. That was the first thing I said.
Oh, okay. I thought you forgot it again. Well, you forgot it yesterday, and that was bad.
Yeah, that was
to be
bad.
fair. I forgot it for like 5 hours. So I was like, oh shit.
You're like G1 Climax 2, and I was like, oh fuck, you're right.
Well, Halloween Havoc will be like, all right, here you go, done.
Well, that'll be the MSK talk for you, I imagine, when you're gonna be burying a little girl.
Not a little girl, high school girl.
How is it better? How is it
high
better?
school girl's parents, actually.
Worst thing to say on the internet. So do we want to bring up the Sasha Becky stuff?
Yeah, probably. That'd probably be good.
Okay.
It would probably be bad not to.
Okay.
It was like the biggest story of wrestling this week. That's not. I mean,
it's yeah. I mean, it's one of the the other interesting story is, I guess, the SmackDown versus Raw, SmackDown versus AEW like ratings were revealed, but we kind of talked about it last week.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about that. Let me see if I can pull up a quick news line item about that.
Let's get ready to suck it. You were thinking the same thing.
Oh man, I got the wine burps. Okay, here we go. We're almost. Well, we can start the show while I look this up still.
I hope you guys didn't come here for a show, because you're not getting one.
Apparently.
Kidding. Do you believe in magic? I don't know the rest of the song, but it's magic.
I can't find it on there, but so I'll just go to Bleacher Report. They're probably fine.
This is just the hottest of starts we could have ever dreamt of.
Well, okay, now the show's ready to go. So we're recording now. We're officially recording.
We got to do the music and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I'm about to do it. I'm
ready to go. Ready the green light.
All right, ready?
Sorry.
3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to Ring Post Radio Nights, episode 10. Gotta do episode 10. 10 weeks of this, Scotty. And we gotta do something special for all the... Oh, shit, I spilled my wine. Spilled it all over myself. Are you muted?
No. I was just trying to make a little sound.
I need a napkin. Hey, Jesse. Can you give me a napkin? This is out of control.
We might want to restart.
No. This is how the show should start. I think that on episode 10 of Ring Post Radio, I think this is how the show could start.
We have the worst opening yet.
I'm your humble host, Ryan Knightsey.
Don't do the thing with the wine again. You're just gonna spill it again.
I spilled wine in me already. 1 minute into the show, I spilled wine in myself. It doesn't look like it's on the rug. Anyways, I'm Ryan Knightsey, your humble host, sipping on some Pinot Noir, Ring Post Radio Nights. I'm joined by the V4 man himself, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this cool Sunday night?
I got a lot of steam to let go from, not really from work, it's just from a long week of lots of wrestling. And usually we do this on Saturday morning, so I'm pretty calm, except last week I said some things that might have went a little too far, and you're just dancing. So you know what, we're just gonna start the show. So
this is the show, baby. Ring Post Radio Nights.
I hate the voice so much. I think it's the voice that's getting me the most.
Well, don't worry. We got a bunch of show, but we have a bunch of show. I'm already drunk. This is my second glass, by the way.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm a professional. I'm a professional here. Well, welcome everybody to Ring Post Radio. Like we said, show at the top. I already spilled wine on myself. We're doing this Sunday night as per. This episode will probably, the podcast version of the show will probably come out Monday morning. So if you want the audio version, of course, you can get that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, all those places. But of
Monday morning, rain is falling.
Yeah, Train, baby. Train?
Yeah.
Train.
Yes,
Drops of Jupiter.
Train. Yeah, except usually it's Sunday morning, but you said Monday, so.
Yeah, we typically record and go live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
So I'll start singing that
Sunday
from now
morning.
on Sunday mornings.
But instead, we were going nighttime. You were working to this morning because where do you work again? I forget. It was like a hockey, right?
I work at a local sports network, one of the biggest in the country. So that's pretty cool.
WWE.
That is not a local sports network at all. But
fair.
okay.
That's fair. Let's get into the show.
I work for WWE. I think they just have to find this podcast to fire me, but that's fine.
That's fine.
I said Saudi Taker last week.
Oh, the only other line I had, we did say Saudi Taker last week. The only other line I had for the opening bit was what was it? I don't even remember what it was. It was welcome to Ring Post Radio Nights, the only place where you get the smoothest wrestling takes on the internet.
You know, if you were smarter, you would have been like late night nightsy or late nightsy or something.
Ryan late nightsy on the sax.
We need
Scotty
to get
Eds.
we need to get rid of the music ASAP. Like that was getting wrong. I don't know why my hair is like trying to resemble John Cena's, but it's really annoying. I hate it.
It's not bad. I like it. It's professional for our night show.
It's called I Had a Hat On.
Yeah, that's also true. Let's get into the actual show. News items from the past week of wrestling that we wanted to talk about. Big news story. Yes,
talking about wrestling this week. I thought we were just gonna keep tossing back.
Well,
and
I can talk about wine.
Night jokes.
Did you know that
don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm a wine guy now. Fun fact.
Did you just become a wine guy today?
In the past month, I've become a wine guy.
Oh,
I've never liked wine, and
congratulations.
now I'm officially a wine guy.
Now you're a fine wine type of guy.
A Californian red, if you will.
No, we need to start talking about wrestling. We need to. People don't come here for this.
No, I think people need to start coming here for. I mean, if you want to come here for more insanity, I guess that would be happy hour technically.
That's happy hour. That we can't take the gimmick away from the other show you do.
Speaking about taking gimmicks from each other, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch got in a whole thing on Friday, and it looks like if reports are to be believed, then they basically shooted on one each other live inside. Shot. No, it's they had shooted on each other during the middle of Friday Night Smackdown. An exchange. Everyone's been talking about this. Basically, an exchange went down when they were exchanging their championships to each other. Apparently, Charlotte Flair was supposed to do this sort of like last second give or take thing, and then Becky Lynch shot for it, and then they dropped the title. It was a big old mess. The video trended on Twitter a little bit just because of how much of a mess it was. But it turns out the more to the story is that apparently Charlotte Flair has been sort of acting against typical type, I guess, what some of her colleagues would say. Don't know what. They see Becky as this sort of hero person, is one quote I read. That she wasn't supposed to throw the belt to the mat. Instead, it was supposed to be a cat and mouse thing. And apparently Charlotte and Becca have had this strained relationship for a little while now. So no one knows entirely what's happening, but apparently Charlotte is not happy with the company, and the company's not happy with her. What is your take on all of this, Scotty?
I've had a lot of thoughts. Like if anyone read my Twitter at Scott E Wrestling on Twitter, you're welcome. I had a lot of thoughts on Charlotte as a whole, because I think when it comes down to it, this is a Charlotte thing. This isn't a Becky Lynch thing. Like Becky Lynch has always been seen as someone that is respected and is someone that, has had to work her way to the top and so forth, so on. She just came back from having a kid, and you never hear anything bad about Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, Charlotte Flair has the audacity to whine and cry and bitch and act up when they've given her 16 total title reigns. Yes, total, including tag team, NXT, Divas, everything. I counted it the other day. Don't at me. Anyways, they gave her
at Scotty Wrestling.
They pushed her into a WrestleMania main event. She had no spot, she had no right to be in it. These are all the things they've went out of their way to do for her, because they want her to be the biggest star. Guess what? She has failed at being the biggest star. Becky Lynch has surpassed her. Let me break it down better to just when it comes to being a mainstream star, which is what they want Charlotte Flair to be. She is behind Becky Lynch. She is behind Sasha Banks. Then it's her. Maybe. Bianca Belaire is very close in terms of just the women roster. On the men's side, there isn't that many that are mainstream either. But my point is, WWE has done everything in their power to make Charlotte Flair a star. And now she's acting up, because I've seen people defending her a little bit, saying, well, they released her husband. No. He asked for his release. That was not what happened. Ric Flair. They released Ric Flair. I'm pretty sure there was a lot to do with that, but Ric Flair probably didn't want to actually be there anymore.
I believe I read that quote as well. I don't have it on hand, but I believe that was correct.
My whole thing is, the one thing of all this that I liked about Charlotte Flair, she wanted to drop the title to Bianca Belaire.
Mm-hmm.
That I can appreciate, because you wanted to drop the title. They should have probably done that in retrospect. And they could have just had Becky lose the title to Sasha or something. But at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair has been handed so much, and now she's acting like this. And she's doing it with Becky Lynch of all people. Like, I understand why Becky threw the title at her. She's probably like, are you kidding me? Like, after all this, and they used to be best friends. Clearly, they are not anymore. And the fact that she got, tossed out of the building essentially tells me a lot about this not being a one-time thing.
No, I believe there was a quote that came out this afternoon saying that this isn't the first instance. This isn't going to be the last instance of a similar. I don't want to use the word attitude problems, even though that is what seems to maybe be the issue or whatever it is. I don't want to say that because it could easily be everything. I mean, look at where Charlotte's position is. You're right. There is the aspect of her boyfriend and her husband. They wanted to walk away, but they wanted to walk away, and now she is probably hearing from her boyfriend that, you would be great over in this other company, and they actually will treat you right. Look at even when
to say about that too.
Even look at the part where Andrade officially left and what happened with her situation. Remember that WWE medical staff at one point in time legit told her that she was pregnant, and that was not the case. She was not. She was taken off shows. She was seemingly very bad about that as well. If we recall that.
Protective though.
Protective of whom?
Her. Well, isn't the point of if they thought she was pregnant, they didn't want to have her wrestle?
Yeah, but she was like, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. And it was like this whole weird thing, and I don't have all the details in front of me. This was like maybe 2 months ago, so I don't quite remember everything. So, this is all alleged and all that stuff. But she seemingly was super angry about that as well. And so she is probably, to be the devil's advocate for your story, Scotty, is that she is probably in a position where she is upset at the WWE as a whole, and maybe she doesn't want to be there anymore.
I have one more thing to toss in. They put her on Fox. That is a bigger, that's a bigger reach than Monday Night Raw. Like, there are still clear signs that they are trying to please her when she's probably 1 foot out the door. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like she's 1 foot out the door, and I can understand. I always thought she's probably bored by now. They've given her all these title reigns, and there's really nothing for her to do. She's faced almost everyone. She's faced Io Shirai. Like, it's not even like she's waiting for like one of the top people to come from NXT to come. She's faced the majority of the people in the company. So I can get like the boredom. I just don't think this is the way to go about it. I don't think I think she should be more professional, but I think WWE there's probably WWE things we don't know either. Like, let's not act like this is just, the perfect company that treats everybody right. That is not the case.
We'll get to the lack of perfect company in a little bit.
That's not the case at all. But at the end of the day, this is Charlotte Flair. It's hard to believe she hasn't been treated more right than wrong over the past, I don't know, how long has she been in WWE? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? She's been at the top since she's pretty much been there. So
yeah,
that's just that. And I feel like, trying to make a scene and like throwing the belt on Becky, that was just, you don't do that on TV. Like, you just got to be professional at that point. Like, yes, you probably don't like the segment. I don't think anyone did. I don't think anyone liked the just title swap. It's so stupid. But at the end of the day, you still want to be professional. Like, I thought Sonya Deville was going to kill Charlotte, let alone Becky.
What do you think moving forward? What happens with Charlotte? Is this?
I think she moves on. Probably signs with AEW.
As my understanding, she has a couple more years on her contract.
I think if this goes on long enough, they'll have no other choice. I think they'll get to a point where they have to mutually agree to part ways, because if she's going to act up, if she's not going to want to be there, she's probably not going to change anytime soon. Like, it seems there's going to have to be a dramatic shift in the way that they're working together.
Yeah, I do agree in the sense
for more years, let alone a few months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just this company is very weird, and I do feel like, you look at how her boyfriend's being treated. I look at how, her father probably was going to be treated. I mean, if
I didn't need Ric Flair on my TV, but yes.
But we all we're going to guess what was going to happen to Ric Flair. He was going to be the manager for Andrade. That I think that's probably allegedly obvious. But you know, and she's looking at all this stuff and she's probably like, man, that looks great. And I agree, maybe this isn't the best idea, but I don't. And who knows? And this is just all the speculation, folks. We don't know what's up with it. We don't know. If we don't even know if she wants. We don't even know if we don't. Well, you work with WWE. We don't even.
Course, yes.
We don't even know if she wants to be out of her contract. There's no of all the news sources. No one stated that.
No, she's never said. Like that's a great point. They've never said she wants out of her contract. Maybe it's just she wants something different.
Oh my god! What the hell was that? That was
a painful sneeze.
That was like a Looney Tune sneeze. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that was like you were falling off a canyon sneeze.
You want to move on from Charlotte? I have one. Actually, I have one last thing.
Sure.
I said this like 5 minutes ago, but I don't know if she would be a plus for AEW because here's the thing with Charlotte. Even she's a big star. She'd be the biggest woman star they'd sign, bar none.
Yeah,
not even a question.
And they would. You get that? You get Charlotte, of course you do.
But even when she was happy in WWE that we know of, she has multiple times, no sell things. And, when she doesn't click with an opponent, the matches can be very bad, like very bad. Her matches with Alexa Bliss, often not very good. Unless she has one of the 4 horsewomen in there, it's often, or Rhea. She's actually very good with Rhea. She was good with Bianca the other day too. But Charlotte still is someone that she needs to like the person, but she also has her own idea of how she does wrestling, and there's many times she no sells things and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, you have to think, whenever I think of that is,
and it takes a little big spot away from a lot of people.
To me, it's always incredibly difficult to really judge a WWE's wrestler in terms of those things, because I always question immediately what is their decision and what were they told to do. Right. Like the whole current aesthetic of her character is like talking down to people and treating them like nothing. So like I imagine that plays into her lack of selling and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Like I agree, she's not the best wrestler in the world. But
not the worst though.
But she's not the worst, and that is still a talent that AEW could use. That is still a talent any wrestler can use, and the name that any wrestling company would obviously take. You pick her up immediately if she's available.
I think I just don't want to see Britt Baker versus Charlotte Flair. I think that's my nightmare.
It would would probably be a good match. Maybe, I don't know. Let's move on.
I don't see how that could be let's move on. I'm done talking about Charlotte. I said this like 3 days ago. I'm done talking about Charlotte. At the end of the day, I'm going to stop talking.
TBS Women's Championship Tournament brackets were officially announced. It was announced on Friday, I believe, that it was going to be a 12-seed tournament, which was weird. It's immediately announced to be a 12-seed. That's weird. And then we officially get it as I think it was officially announced on Saturday. On Dynamite. So the tournament begins, it's actually already begun because we've already had one match. So Scotty, you want to go through and give our little pick'ems on this tournament?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I definitely didn't see Dynamite, so just tell me who won because I don't care.
Don't worry, I'll tell you when we get there. Okay. So first round. So how it works is that there's a first round, 4 women get buys. The 4 women are 4 of the women in the top 5 rankings.
No complaint already, by the way.
What's that?
And this isn't me complaining for the whole show. I just think they could have easily done 16 people.
I agree. I think those 4 people you could have put Thunder Rosa against Sky Blue, Jade Cargill versus Kiera Hogan, Nyla Rose versus.
I mean, you have Ryo Mizunami there. I'm just saying, who left Japan to go there for 2 months. And they could have just easily put her in this tournament and had her lose. Or put Emi Sakura in this tournament. Or like you said, Kiera Hogan. There was just very easy ways to do this. And it's clear they just didn't want to, which is fine. Who cares, I guess, at the end of the day. But you have so much time until the finals.
For me, it feels like a time issue. Like, yes,
Have
yes,
so much time till the finals.
I know. But if they can only do one women's match a show, then I would have to look at the schedule. Then maybe they can only do 2 women's matches a week, and then November comes the show, and then we have to do the
TK
show.
should start showing them that the bunny is the ratings eater.
Yeah. So let's
don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
First round. Let's talk about her. The bunny versus Red Velvet.
Did this happen yet?
No, this has not happened yet.
Who is the bye of this?
The bye is Jade Cargill.
Oh, so
Red
Velvet's winning. Nice.
Red Velvet. I mean, let's be honest. I think Red Velvet's probably going to win too, to go up against Jade Cargill to get that face heel dynamic. But then the bunny's the ratings draw. Let's put the bunny in there.
She is the new tribal chief, I'm told on Twitter.
Maybe we put the bunny in there and you get some ratings. We like some ratings around here.
Yeah, but I definitely think it should be Red Velvet. I think if they want Jade to wrestle a competitive match, you don't do the bunny versus Jade. That would be a train wreck.
Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna say Red Velvet here, and then
yes.
I guess we'll get to quarterfinals in a bit. Okay, so Serena Deeb versus Hikara Shita. Hikara Shita again going for a 50th win here against Deeb, who just took it away from her. I am upset that they're already doing this match, and that it was just.
I'm more upset that I was supposed to be at this show and I can't be. So
I've been complaining for months now about no shows coming to Atlanta for like any company. Yeah, I'm getting one in Duluth, an hour away. I can't go to the show, guys. I can't be at the show either. I'm upset by it.
Very sad.
Serena Deeb versus Hikara Shita. I'm very upset that this match is happening this soon. It feels like all that buildup was just for this one match in the tournament, and I'm upset that it was this early on in the tournament. But whatever.
Could have made it the finals.
Could have. You could have.
Would have made a lot of sense because you have the longest reigning AEW Women's World Champion. You have her, and then you have Deeb. I think that instantly makes that title more special if you have them work to the finals. I think we can, predictably figure out what the finals might be based off the brackets. But sure. I agree with you. This should have been later on in the tournament.
Who do you think wins here? Yeah.
I need to know the bye because I don't know who the bye is.
The bye is Nyla Rose.
See, Deeb's interesting.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one, isn't it?
She can win or lose either way.
I think whoever wins this match is beating Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Serena Deeb wins.
I think it might be Hikara. I would be upset if it's Hikara Shita because it's just like, oh, she got a win back. I would love if it's Serena Deeb. I think Serena Deeb in the TBS title is great, so I would love her to win.
I think you try to get Deeb versus Statlander in the semis. Wait, who's Statlander fighting?
Well, let's talk about that next. So right now we're thinking Deeb. We're saying Deeb.
Yeah, I'm going Deeb.
Penelope Ford versus Ruby Soho. That was the Dynamite match where, can you guess who won?
Ruby Soho better have won.
She did in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So the quarterfinal match is going to be Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho.
Now that's juicy. Now that's a good one right there. Oh, now I'm intrigued. I think Deeb needs to win then, because I think Deeb versus Soho or Statlander is a brilliant idea for a semifinal match, because if you're trying to build Deeb up as this heel, either one of those two are really good baby faces for her to compete against. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Soho.
I'm also going to go with Soho, and I think that'll be the thing. Anna Jay, the last first round was Anna Jay versus Jamie Hayter.
Did Jamie Hayter win?
This match has not taken place yet.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to be really upset if Jamie Hayter lost to Anna Jay, so I'm going to pick Jamie Hayter. Because Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa would absolutely bang.
Which Thunder Rosa is the bye, so that's going to be the person they face. Thunder Rosa versus
If you told me she wasn't the bye, I was going to just lose my mind and be like, is she even in the tournament?
Can we talk about that match real quick?
I don't think I will. Wait, which match?
The Anna Jay match.
With Britt Baker?
Yeah.
One of the worst matches I've seen all year?
Yeah. I I just want to say real quickly that a lot of people came out of that match saying that Anna Jay looked like a star, and I'm not going to say that those people are incorrect.
Ooh.
There's a lot of people on Twitter, and I'm not going to say those people are incorrect only because those are their opinions, and this show is all about respecting people's opinions,
even if they're wrong.
However, that match was bad. It was sloppy. It was slow. I don't know. I don't know about you, Scotty, but like last year before her injury, I don't know how much of this is the injury or the crowd or whatever. But before the injury, I thought Anna Jay was a very solid prospect, and like I thought, I thought maybe she could have even had a potential to win the title off of Shita at one point. I thought, that I was like, Anna Jay is wow. Pretty. I was high on Anna Jay. I had a lot of stock in Anna Jay.
I hear Jungle Boy is too.
Oh yeah. I'm in the same boat. I wish. But watching that Britt Baker match, and I get it. Look, I get it. It's Britt Baker. Britt Baker is a wrestler that needs someone else to be on a higher caliber or an even caliber to bring a good match. When it's someone beneath her, they can't really do it. And we're looking back on the Anna Jay Britt Baker feud, where it was the first match where we had that moment for Britt Baker where she broke her nose and it got her face all fucked up. And that was like a big sloppy like match as well. But this was just slow. It was not good. And I have sold all my Anna Jay stock. I'm not going to be buying for another year or two. I was really upset coming out of that match, and I don't think she should win this match. I think it should just be Hater moving on.
I always thought Anna Jay was going to be like, she could be a star in like 3 years. Like, that's how I always felt. I never thought it was going to be soon. This match just guaranteed that to me.
It's got a lot of work.
When they messed up the Bret Hart spot, I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, this is bad. Like, the one thing you had to do was just climb that up and just fall backwards, and you couldn't even do that. That sleeper hold, I still think might be going on. Like, it was bad. And I think the problem is, I think the injury actually has a lot to do with it. I think, she was already green as could be. Mm-hmm. And then she missed all those months, and now she's on television too many times a week. Like, no, that's
not just on television, but not on television in front of some of the largest crowd, not even some, the largest crowd she's ever wrestled in front of ever. Featured.
Yeah, it's not a win-win situation for her at all. It's a lose-lose, because unless she just, becomes Thunder Rosa overnight, like as just an overall very talented in-ring wrestler, it was never going to work. I think she's getting the character work down. I think I'll give her that.
Yeah.
But the rest is a lot of work, and I don't think she should be beating Jamie Hayter.
So we're going to say quarterfinals for us is Thunder Rosa, Jamie Hayter, Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Nyla Rose, Serena Deeb, and of course, Chris Statlander, Ruby Soho. So Thunder Rosa, Hayter, who are you thinking? That one's, I want to say that should be a great match, but it does feel like Thunder Rosa there.
Thunder Rosa should definitely win. It should be a very good match, because debatably those are your two best in-ring, well, besides Serena Deeb. Mm-hmm. Like, those are two of the best. I think Jamie Hayter surprised a lot of people since she came back, and I think that would be a good match. I think even giving Jamie Hayter the one win, just to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to face Britt, is good enough. I think that's good enough, and then you have Thunder Rosa beat her, and that furthers that story of, oh, she beat Britt's sidekick, whatever the hell you want to call her.
Yeah. And I agree.
Thunder Rosa should not lose again on television, please. At least yet.
So saying Thunder Rosa moving on, Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet, Jade Cargill, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to Red Velvet, but that then makes the semifinal Rosa versus Jade Cargill.
That's what That's what they've been building to. It only makes sense.
Nyla Rose versus Serena Deeb. I think Deeb.
I definitely think Deeb.
I think it should be Deeb. I think Nyla Rose.
I think Deeb should win the tournament. Like, I'm just gonna spoil that right now. I think she should win the tournament.
Statlander versus Soho.
I think Soho versus Deeb is definitely a top of the line match they want to do.
But is that a match you save for down the road? Or do you put that right now?
I mean, that could be a potential TBS championship defense. So maybe they have stat win, but I think Soho's definitely winning. I don't know how you eliminate Deeb in the first 2 rounds. I mean, you could have Shita beat her, but that's just it's not it for me. Like, this is the perfect chance to have Shita lose, and I don't want to see Nyla Rose versus Shita again. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
I'm looking up real quickly. We're going real long, by the way, so I'm just trying to go fly through this as well. But I'm looking up real quickly.
Well, we had Dark Sinister Ryan at the beginning.
It wasn't dark. It was nice.
That was spilling wine and all over himself.
Ruby Soho has already lost before. I forget who.
To Britt.
To Britt, yes. I just wanted to confirm, has she lost before? I don't know if losing the Statlander is currently in the cards for Soho. Could be, but I'm not sure. Yeah, semifinals: Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill. Does Thunder Rosa give Jade Cargill her first loss?
No. I think Jade wins.
I'm going to say Thunder. I'm going to go say Thunder. And I think part of me, and maybe it's the wine talking, but part of me feels like it's more of a want of I want Thunder Rosa to win. Yeah. But I think
I definitely want her to win.
I think to me it's a sort of an end of the feud sort of situation, and so I feel like you get Thunder win to win that to go into the finals, and that be her moving on situation. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We gotta finish this.
Yes, Serena Deeb versus Soho. I'm gonna say Deeb.
Well, I think it goes one of the 2 ways. Like, I think it's either Jade and Soho or it's Deeb and Thunder. It's not. They're not mixing those 2.
And that is where we differ. I am saying Rosa versus Deeb, and you are saying
I prefer yours. I'm just going with the Tony Khan mindset here. So.
Okay. Jade versus Soho. What is your decision? Jade versus Soho.
I think Jade wins. I think they want to give her like this massive title run where she's just unbeatable, and then once she's beaten, it's a big win for someone on the women's side. I don't know. Maybe it's your favorite Anna Jay.
Who knows?
Maybe her and Jungle Boy can win titles or matches or something. Because you also love Jungle Boy. Yeah, I think Jade wins, but I prefer Deeb winning the whole thing.
I really don't like that couple for some reason. Jade Jungle Boy. I don't know what it is.
That would actually be your background if you had one.
Yeah. The butt grab shot.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Thunder Rosa versus Deeb, which is my final, and I think the final is also going to be on the pay-per-view. Let me see if it says.
I thought it was supposed to be on January 2nd.
Is that when the final is happening?
On the first episode of TBS.
Ah, that would make sense. Yes, January 5th, the show's debut and broadcast. I think you do have the show have a huge match between Rosa versus Deeb, have a great, outstanding women's television match on TBS on your first episode, and I think you crown Thunder Rosa as the first winner of the title holder.
That'd be great.
That way, for whatever reason, we can hold off Rosa Britt Baker for even longer.
Yay, that means a longer Britt Baker title reign. Just what I asked for. We're getting Britt Baker versus Ty Conti at a pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. That's a decision.
The problem is also the problem right now with Britt Baker is I don't know if there's anyone that can beat her.
Well, there is. They just don't want her to beat her yet.
Yeah, I guess Thunder Rosa will probably be the only person. Well, there we go. Those are our thoughts on the TBS tournament. We're already 30 minutes into the show, and that is...
Sheesh.
Yeah, sheesh.
Well, we talked about Charlotte and Becky, too.
Yeah. G1 Climax. Let's get into it. G1 Climax final. This show...
Something I enjoyed. Well...
How much of the show do you watch? I only watched the 2 matches.
Yeah, I only watched 2 matches. Come on now. I'm not watching team wrestling.
I'm not watching a bunch of multi-man.
Except my boys won. They're getting a title match. House of Torture all the way. Baby.
Oh, yeah. Evil Show and Yujiro Takahashi.
House of Torture winning titles, baby. Here we go.
The title that Evil previously was like, I don't want this.
Yeah, he still doesn't want it, but he knows what he's doing, baby. Here we go.
Do you want to talk about the good news or the bad news of G1 Climax first?
Let's talk about the good news first.
Good news, of course, was out of nowhere, Zack Sabre Jr. in all white cladded wardrobe struts down the ring. Commentary is like, what the hell is happening? Out comes that beautiful orchestral music. Katsuya Shibata, all black, walks down to the ring, and out of nowhere, we're told that this is a grappling rules match, that there is going to be 5-minute exhibition match. First time Shibata's quote-unquote wrestling exhibition, whatever.
It's a match.
In 4 years. Insane. Chills.
I rewatched the entrance alone like 25 times.
Yeah.
It's just so good. I thought Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton did so good. Like, they did so good at being like, what is happening? Because like they definitely weren't told, which made it that much more organic. It was the perfect surprise. I think in a year where New Japan has had such a tough year, I think, you know, without the one bad news of the show, it was the correct way the show needed to go. I mean, who could have dreamt that Shibata was going to wrestle again, just even for 5 minutes? Like, who could have imagined that? And the best part is he looked so good in there. Like, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if Shibata does indeed wrestle again, if he is almost getting cleared, but there's one person that made me say never. That is Edge. Edge somehow came back from an injury. I know it's very different with Shibata. I know Shibata had this terrifying injury where his life was literally in jeopardy at one point. Like, it was just terrible. Was it his life, or was he going to be paralyzed?
For who? For bad. Edge?
Shibata. I know Edge was going to be paralyzed.
Shibata was a horrendous story, and yeah. I don't know the quite percentage, but it was something as low as the doctors told him he had like a 12% chance of living.
Yes, exactly.
Something insane like that.
So I guess that's the beauty of wrestling in the end of the day. Like, these moments can happen when you least expect them to. And if this was it for Shibata, great. But I don't think it's it for Shibata. I don't. I think at the very least we're going to get more grappling matches, which I'm fine. You put that on every show, I'm watching it every time. It was just awesome. It was the best moment of New Japan's year by far. Nothing comes close.
Yeah, there was only like 9 people aware of this. Neither commentary team even knew about it. It was literally Shibata, Sabre, Gato, Obari, Sugabayashi, the referee, Marty Asami, the ring announcer, the lighting staff, a stage director. Basically,
Sabre, right?
Need to know basis. Yes, of course, a Sabre. A need to know basis for this. Literally, I love Shibata. I think he's an outstanding wrestler. I think his story of someone that lived and breathed New Japan, came up in the Young Lion system, became a musketeer. Then during the dark days of New Japan, just said, "Screw this, I'm out." Kicking the dirt behind him on all these New Japan fans and wrestlers. Eventually came crawling back, and he had to rebuild the trust of not just the fans, but the wrestlers, the behind the scenes crew as well, and got there all the way up to winning New Japan Cup, challenging Okada, putting his legit life on the line, and that won him over to everyone as this legend of New Japan after what he previously did to the company. And, you know, like I said, 12% life chance of surviving what that match did to him. Those headbutts are still things I show. The Shibata Ishii match from the G1 Climax, that like short, quick little like 10-minute match, is my perennial match recommendation for anyone wanting to get into New Japan. Based off of the Shibata return alone, just in our personal Slack of Countout, there was like 2 or 3 of the people would be like, I think I want to get into New Japan. You know, this is like, I'm interested in getting into this stuff. This got people talking about New Japan. This got the internet ablaze once more. It was outstanding. Allegedly doctors have still not yet cleared him, but they must have done something for him to get this exhibition match. So the question is, obviously with Shibata, and obviously what's coming up in January, are we getting a match with Shibata based on what happened later in the show? I'm going to say yes. You got to get Shibata on that show at least once, if not thrice. Put him against Sabre, an official match. Put him against, I don't know, Master Wado. Put him against Master Wado in night 2, Ishii in night 3.
I think you put him against Sabre Jr., probably someone that he taught at the LA dojo. And whoever.
Put against Carl Fredericks.
That'd be a good one. He's probably ready to finally go over by then. As someone who's watched, I've only watched a handful of Shibata matches, but I was always told to watch it because, I got into New Japan a couple of years ago, like a lot of people did. I think a lot of people got into New Japan around the Okada Omega match. I think that's like really when people started to get into it. That's when I started to get into it. And Shibata was a guy that people have always told me year after year, month after month, this is the guy you should watch because based on every wrestler you like, he is the one that wrestles exactly like them. So I think the first match I ever watched of his was a title match with Tanahashi, and it was just amazing. Like he
does a lot of small great things.
He is the wrestler. Like he is the professional wrestler. Like that is the thing. There's a reason he's called that. That's what he is.
I pointed up because you don't know this. No one knows this because it's right above me.
I don't know this.
I have a Shibata towel, the wrestler towel, hanging right above me. I look up to it.
That's amazing.
You can see behind me. I'm not a big like wrestling merch person. I have that's what you have. I have like a Kenny Omega pop figure. I have, maybe I had a t-shirt, a wrestling t-shirt, but that got canceled.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. I got these belts from when I was younger.
Nice.
I don't have much in ways of merch, but I went out of my way when we went to the New Japan Charlotte show, I believe it was, to specifically buy this wrestler Shibata towel because I'm that much of a fan. I really like this guy. I really enjoy his work.
Even if he can wrestle one match on that 3-day Tokyo Dome show, I think you give him the rest of the days the grappling matches. I think that's what you do. If you don't want to, you overuse him, which makes sense. You probably don't want to do that to a guy that, almost died and hasn't been able to wrestle in 4 years. I think that would be best case scenario as well. You have him versus Zach, and then you do some grappling matches. I think you and me could just agree. We are just so happy he's back in any form. I think the entire wrestling world is happy he's back. And by the way, that man has not stopped training. He's been wrestling for
real, probably.
Shape now than he probably was back then. Was just saying something. I saw him, I was like, oh no, this guy is ready to go. I hope we get to see him wrestle one true wrestling match, even if it's just one.
Yeah,
and I know he does too.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the day. I'm telling you what,
it's happening.
The bad news. The G1 Climax final. This is just heartbreaking news. G1 Climax final match takes place. It's Kazuchika Okada versus Kota Ibushi. I believe you and I predicted that correctly, so I'll take a victory lap there. Versus with Ibushi versus Okada. I don't quite.
Sounds fair. We're gonna take the victory. Let's take it anyways.
I don't remember, but we'll take it anyways. I remember it was in discussion. As the match is going on, 20 minutes surpass in the match. They just start getting into that next gear. Ibushi points to the top rope.
Kill time. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was kill time for both of them. This is when...
This is going to be like a 30-40 minute match.
Well, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
It was gonna be. I think it was gonna be nice 30 because you don't want to push Ibushi that way. And the saddest part was of all this is this is the first time he's felt back, in my opinion.
I will also say is that I came late to watching this because I was just gonna wake up and watch it, and I woke up to Shibata, and I was like, well, I gotta watch this right away. So I was like slightly behind by just like a couple of minutes. So I look on Twitter. As I just want to convey my experience. I'm looking at Twitter and seeing what people's thoughts are. I read this. I read what's happening, what's about to happen. And I'm like, oh no. So all of this match is happening. I'm now thinking in my place, oh, what something's about to happen. And there's a different element to being I try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but it's really hard when you're running a fucking podcast network Twitter account by yourself. So, you gotta be on Twitter and tweeting these things out. So I'm like behind, and I hear what the move is, and I'm like, oh no. So the match is happening. Kota Ibushi goes to the top rope, does like a foot stomp, I believe is what it was. Then he like rolls through, and then he...
No, when he got hurt?
No, not when he hurt. I think the match right before. So he goes through, points to that top rope, and I'm sitting on my couch at home being like, oh no, he's about to do it. And I think commentary is like, oh no, he's looking for that Phoenix Splash. Goes into the top rope, gets into that Phoenix Splash position, jumps off, lands practically on his entire left shoulder, I believe it was. And that's it. He lays on the ground. Red Shoes is talking to him. Okada props himself in the corner. All of a sudden, minutes later, rings the bell. Match over by referee's decision. Then just the doctors come out. Young Lions create the media barricade, which I really appreciated. I thought that was a nice touch to get that respect there. But we hear that like maybe they're popping it in. We hear it might be like a wrist, might be a dislocated shoulder. As I understand it, it probably was a dislocated shoulder. Also, that's like something that people with a dislocated shoulder do is they hold their wrist. Apparently, I've never dislocated a shoulder. I don't know. This is what I read.
Knock on wood.
I don't know. Knock on wood. So we don't know what happened. Even the reports are saying that he's okay, but this is a shoulder that he's hurt before, dislocated, and when he hurt before, he was out for 3 months. That puts us past Wrestle Kingdom. If he tore something, that puts him out, Finn Balor territory, where he's gonna be out way longer. So this was all of this I want to say, Scotty, is that what a sort of poetic ending. A sad poetic ending to the G1 Climax, where we start our show with an injury of Tetsuya Naito and end the entire tournament, end the summer, fall with another injury in Kota Ibushi. 2 injuries coming out of this entire G1 Climax.
Major injuries.
Injuries that might have them miss 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. That they were going to be relied on to sell tickets.
Yeah, so
this isn't Yoshihashi. This isn't anybody else. This is Ibushi. This is Naito.
This is 2 of the top 3 stars right now. 4. I'll include Shingo too, and Tanahashi. So 5.
And I'll say Shibata for 6.
Well, yes, if Shibata's fully back, then he's definitely one of them. Anyways, it was so devastating because to me, they were on to something special. Watching this match, it felt like a New Japan main event, not one of these forced 40 minutes just sit around and fight. No, this actually to me felt like a New Japan match that made people love New Japan. Like this was full out Okada. This was Ibushi being back to top form. That was my biggest takeaway from the first 20 minutes of this. I was like, this is the Ibushi people have been waiting for this entire tournament. And I think Ibushi had some good matches. Like, I think he had good matches. None of them were long, and I know that's something with people. I didn't mind it. Anyways, it was really heartbreaking because, like, you could just tell on Okada's face he was devastated. Like, Okada did really good, I think, too, of just, making sure he was okay, being a complete professional before, breaking into the Rainmaker stuff and being like, I won, yeah. But
which must have been really hard to go through, knowing that
absolutely.
your friend in the back is injured.
And I think we have more conversation with Okada. We'll do that in a second.
Yeah.
But I think, looking at the full picture, how do you book 3 nights of wrestling with no Naito and no Ibushi? I think Ibushi has a chance because dislocated shoulders are weird. They're weird. Like, they could either be really okay and like he could be back in 2 months, or they can be like Finn Balor, like you said, he can miss almost a year.
Yeah,
it's tough, and Naito had knee surgery, so your predictions is as good as mine there. But what do they do now? They have one match. They got that. It's the match that they needed. Now they have to put everything else together, and it sucks because to me, Okada winning the tournament was the ultimate reset for them. I always thought that. I thought he was the beginning of the ultimate reset where you reestablish what New Japan Pro Wrestling is. You get Okada back in the main event against Shingo Takagi, the show that people are going to watch the most of your promotion. That was brilliant to me. But now you're going to be missing 2 of your biggest stars. Yeah. Probably. Hopefully not, but probably.
At least one.
Yes. And yes, let's dream that Shibata is back. Let's dream that indeed he will be back for that show. Okay, that helps. But there's never going to be a time more than this year's Wrestle Kingdom that they need the outside talent more than this year.
And we're not even talking, by the way, about the possibility of Ospreay, Jay White, any other LA Dojo person entering the country for Wrestle Kingdom. We're not even talking about picking up the phone to TK to being like, hey, can you send over some guys? We're not talking about these people. We're talking about like 2 homegrown people that are in the country already that would have been on the card no matter what. Now it's like they're gone. Who the hell knows about Ospreay and White and all these people? Who the hell knows about all these other wrestlers, because they're working shows as well. Dynamite comes first, and Dynamite's gonna be happening. I don't know. I'll even look at a calendar real quick. What night is Dynamite gonna be on? So who the hell knows what's about to happen? I don't know what you're gonna do. If I'm in the room, I'm freaking out. I don't know what's gonna happen. What is it? January 4th, 5th, and 8th, right? Dynamite, Wednesday, January 5th. Obviously, if there's New Japan is still on their 2-week isolation.
The good news is Japan is opening up a lot more now.
This is true, but we're looking at the winter, and winter is coming. Winter's gonna winter. So, but if you're doing 2 weeks, that's that is what 2, 3, 4, 5 Dynamites gone. They won't have these people. Maybe 4, depending on what time you leave. Maybe.
Thankfully, they have a roster where that's okay. But it depends who you're sending over. It depends what stories you're telling.
And if you're New Japan, you want to get the big guns. You're gonna want to get a Moxley. You're gonna want to get.
I think Moxley would be willing to do that, though, to be fair.
After that Moxley promo on Dynamite, which you haven't seen yet, I don't know.
I've heard.
I don't get the impression that he wants to be gone for 5 weeks.
Yeah, if the 5 weeks things, he's not doing it. I mean, instantly pops in my head. Their golden option is the American Dragon. That is their golden option. I think if you're Gato, that's the one guy you're trying to get because he wants to be there. That's a show he wants to be on.
And who else you get? Honestly, he's not doing anything. Maybe let's throw Miro in.
I think that'd be a good one.
Why not put him for the Never title? Put him in the Never title.
I mean, first off, you want Jay White back.
Oh wait, Jay White's the Never champion. God damn it.
Let's start with like the obvious. Like he's probably going to lose it to Ishii, so Ishii can bring it to Japan. Truthfully,
good point.
But I think you really need Jay White back. I'm not even a big Ospreay fan, but you need him back.
Yeah,
like you need these people back. I know they got Aaron an RA back. I saw that. I was very happy about that because I actually was liking his work.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not them, but he's someone.
Yeah.
You know, like
they're prepping for World Tag League.
Even one person coming back is a good sign. I know Jeff Cobb left the States, so left Japan, so it's a trade-off for now. But at the end of the day, they're in a tough spot. They're in a very tough spot. But I think they're doing a lot of good things just from that one last G1 night alone that at least can have people excited. They just need to get their people back. You're going to have a Tanahashi title defense.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have Shingo versus Okada. Like, those are two things you can depend on, thankfully. Mm-hmm. But everything else, I don't know.
Let's talk about what they're doing. After the G1 Climax final and subsequent interviews, Okada says that he doesn't want a briefcase. I beat Ibushi. I see him as the rightful champion of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, that V4 title that is around behind your head. He sees Ibushi, which I did the math, by the way. I don't know what Okada's talking about, but if we're talking lineal champions, that champion's Hiroki Goto, baby. Ibushi, what was it? Ibushi lost to, I gotta look at my tweet, but I think it was like Ibushi lost to Tanahashi, and like Okada beat Tanahashi, and then Tamatonga beat Okada, and then Goto beat Tamatonga. Lineal champion is Hiroki Goto. G is for Goto. G1 is for Goto, and he's your lineal champion. Anyways, IW Goto P Championship. He's the lineal champion. But besides the point, he's now walking out on these Road 2 shows with the title on his shoulder. Walking out. We now have 3 world titles in this promotion.
Yeah, but there's only one real one.
Which is what? Shingo's?
Okada's? Yeah. In my mind, it's Okada's. It was always Okada's. The fact that he brought it back and is just walking out there like it never left. Oh, man, it's amazing.
Yeah, you obviously love it. What's your take on all this stuff?
I adore it. I think Okada, to me, it feels like they're trying to reset everything.
Yeah.
They're not just trying to reset, like, okay, we're going to have Okada back to the top. No. We're going to reset the stupid title decision we made at the beginning of the year. Here's the good belt. Look at it. Love it. Looking at it and loving it. Thank you for asking. It's right here. Anyways, I love it. I think everything about that, barring the Ibushi injury, which sucks, everything that Okada did was perfect. I loved his post-match press conference where they were asking him about challenging Shingo, and he goes, I'm not challenging him. I'm the champion. I was like, what?
He needs to challenge me.
I was like, what? And then now he has his belt, and I'm like, oh,
this grand delusion that Okada is on that I'm just like, what are you talking about, dude?
But think about it. Did Okada really ever lose the title? Did he really?
Yeah. He did.
He lost the double gold dash. That doesn't count. That was the beginning.
That was one of the titles he lost.
He was the last single IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Ibushi was a single champion, and then he became double champion against Naito.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, am I mistaken?
Naito had both titles.
Oh yeah, Naito. Yeah.
No. Okada's the last single champion.
You're right.
So that is his damn belt.
You're incorrect.
He was like,
correct.
no.
No, it doesn't matter because Goto is your lineal champion. He needs to be going after Hiroki Goto, the last samurai, the final dad on this show. Hiroki Goto.
Shit on Goto. Last time we talked about their tournaments. I don't want to hear it. Just go. Just stop. My point is he's the last real champion. It's his title. I can't believe Shingo gets to finally compete for the real belt. Congratulations to him.
What do you think they do? Are we doing a title defense every night? Or doing a triple threat on night 3 of Wrestle Kingdom? What's the plan? I'll tell you this much.
I told you the plan last week. They do the thing where someone has to win twice in a row.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And I guess you have to put Ospreay in there.
Assuming they can get Ospreay,
I think Ospreay is more likely to come over than Jay White. That's my opinion. because he was there when Jay White left.
Yeah.
He was until he got hurt. Anyways, that's what I think you do. I think you have those three compete on at least 2 or 3 of the nights. Whoever wins 2 matches, it should be Okada, is the champion. And of course, he'll probably just toss the 2 world titles to the side and hold his belt because he said so. But I think that might be the best way to go. I have no idea what they're going to do. We just talked about this. They have a lot of problems right now, but the one solution is that Okada has the old title. Okada is just shitting on his own promotion because he can, and it's just amazing. And Shibata's back. Maybe that's who should win. Shibata should win all the titles.
I agree. Now we're in agreement.
Well, yeah, you're trying to tell me Goto should win. I was like,
I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying he should win. I'm saying he's your lineal champion.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bound for Glory happened this past Saturday for Impact.
I forgot what we were talking about next.
Impact's big pay-per-view, Bound for Glory. Forbidden Door Galore was this pay-per-view as well. That was the subtitle. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff, some news came out of it. Thoughts overall, though, Scotty, on Bound for Glory?
Ask me the letter rating.
Give me a letter rating for Bound of Glory.
D. And that's a legitimate rating for someone that watched the show live. It was a complete letdown of a show. Your biggest show of the year needs to be important. Fun fact. None of it until the final match felt important. And then they said, fuck the fans. We're getting rid of what you want. Here's this. It was one of the worst shows I've watched all year.
Let's talk about that main event. Josh Alexander, Christian Cage, Impact World Title match on the line. Josh Alexander walks away.
Event, though. The match after.
We'll get to that. Josh Alexander wins the title, and I thought was a very good match.
I did too.
This match was really good.
It was good wrestling. It was professional wrestling. Like, it wasn't your like high flying shit. It was just good, solid wrestling.
And I was super happy about Josh Alexander winning. Super happy about Josh Alexander winning. I think
you go unspoiled.
No.
Oh, damn it. I wish you got to experience the pain that I did.
I didn't. Yeah, so I came at it with a different light, and I think that'll be because of it. But I really loved that Josh Alexander was able to get the title. However, the winner of the previous match, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, Moose.
We called it. We knew it because we made a big deal about the stupid Call Your Shot Gauntlet last week. And we're like, you know what? It's probably just going to be Moose. And it was fucking Moose.
He comes out while Josh Alexander is celebrating with his wife and child. Moose comes out. Josh Alexander pushes his children into the corner and his wife in the corner. Moose spears him. 3 seconds later, Moose is now your Impact World Television, not World Television, your Impact World title holder. His wife and child now have to comfort the knocked out Josh Alexander. Well, Moose stands over all 3 of them to close out the show.
Like, it was like, oh, he won the title. Bye.
Moose.
You don't actually mean that. I know you don't. You and me were both on the Josh Alexander must win. Josh Alexander must close the pay-per-view at all costs. He is the right next champion. And he was the next champion. But little did we know there was actually a next champion again. It was so dumb. It wasn't a good decision.
I'll give it this. Good heat.
Yeah, it was good heat.
Good heat. A lot of good heat. I hate Moose.
But sometimes
he comes down to the booking, and I think you screwed up Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander, only a couple months left on his contract. He might be walking away. I think you get as much of a title reign out of Josh Alexander as you can before you give it to like a Moose. Also, you should have had W. Morrissey win it and have W. Morrissey do this. He's fresh. He's new. For this company, for this promotion. He's exciting. He's reinvented himself.
He's not Moose.
Moose is good. Moose is fine. But Josh Alexander, come on.
Like, I think we all knew Moose was eventually going to win the world title. Like, it's been years of just assuming.
Yeah.
But why now? Why in the one moment when you just were supposed to make a top star lead you into the future?
Make
and this
a
after
star.
A match where they stopped with that, and I will get to that. But this was so upsetting. And it was so fresh off a great wrestling match. It was a great wrestling match. Christian Cage did his best at helping Josh Alexander have the star-making performance. I thought the finish to that match was perfect, where Christian shoulders out, he can't reach for the rope. Josh Alexander steps on that, he taps out, and Josh Alexander instantly just breaks down into happiness. He's like, holy shit, I did it.
Yeah.
And they said, LOL TNA, instantly. It was like, you got like, oh, his family got in the ring. Oh, it's over. Moose is here. Yay. Woo, great. It was the worst decision they could have possibly made.
Again,
I wouldn't have cared if they did it on the tapings.
I would have loved it. I would have preferred it if the following up episode was that. I think that would have been good.
Because then you would have just got the moment.
Let me feel good. I don't want to heat. I hate this. I hate when booking is that. When booking is like, I mean, granted, look. I don't want to be the worked individual here where I say, like, this is good heat. But
it is good heat.
It is great heat. Everyone's heating it. Everyone's got heat here. But you had the potential to make a new young star for your company. Yes, his contract may be up, and yes, Tony Khan is going to be going for that contract. But maybe Josh Alexander stays, and maybe Josh Alexander wants to become a big star for your company and lead Impact forward. You are Impact. Let's call it what it is. You are Impact. You need someone homegrown, essentially, to lead you right now. And you picked Moose. What are we doing? You had Josh Alexander. You heard that pop. Put the title on him. Let him keep it. Let him keep it. Yeah.
I want to put that out there. The crowd was not good, but they were into that.
You need a star. Impact. Kenny Omega is gone. Christian Cage is gone. According to reports, this partnership is done.
Yeah, it's because Tony Khan got told about this.
Probably.
It'd be funny if that was the reason it ended. Here's my other big problem with this.
Well, Tony Khan heard the demon was coming back, and he's like, I gotta
yeah, that was probably enough. So here's another problem. Bound for Glory is the pay-per-view that most people watch. For Impact, that is the pay-per-view that you're going to have the most viewers of the year.
Yeah.
And you do this. You turn away everybody. You turn away people that might have wanted to.
Whoa. Well, I'm gonna defend them for a quick second because it is wrestling. The chase is something that people enjoy, and I think that's the booking idea here is the chase.
But I already got the chase. I already got the one chase. I don't want two chases. That's like if you had Daniel Bryan.
I know. Let's say we'll call it what it is. You had Adam Page. You had Adam Page win the world title at Full Gear.
And MJF cashed in 2 seconds after.
Cashed in the ring or whatever.
Would make sense because I still don't know what the stupid ring's for. But if that's the case, then why has he waited so long? That's also
waiting for a good opportunity.
Yeah, that's a great call. Like if Hangman Page, well, no, people actually like MJF. I don't think anyone likes Moose. So, like, let me think of someone no one likes. Oh, if you had Cody Rhodes cash in on Hangman Page right after.
Because I'm the EVP.
That would have been detrimental. That would have been a dumb move. I guess I can't give this much breadth to Impact anymore. Like I gave them a chance this year. I really did. I was like, this is going to be the win. This is going to be the show. You're going to build Josh Alexander as your star. You're going to have him, Deonna Perazzo as your two top stars. Yeah, and they laughed in my face on that one.
Apparently, we lost connection to Twitch and Twitter. I'm trying to load it back up. We never lost YouTube, so apologies, people watching the video chat. Yeah, this was upsetting. Again, heat is heat. I get it. I get the heat. but I feel, Impact, you have bigger priorities right now. And I feel that one of those priorities is to build up a new star. And I am unconfident that you're walking away with a new star out of this. Mickie James defeats Deonna Purrazzo for the Impact Knockouts title. Another really good match. I really thought this match was really good. I thought Mickie James is good. We talked about this last week where, look, we both felt that Deonna Purrazzo should retain here, but if anyone's going to beat Deonna Purrazzo, probably going to be Mickie James, and it turns out it was Mickie James. So I'll take a half lap on that one. But yes, Mickie James is the new champion. What did you think of the match?
That's a match. It was good. It was probably it was one of the better matches on the show. But at the end of the day, Impact tried to tell me that Mickie James was the GOAT, and I lost my mind. I couldn't believe they said that. Did you hear that? Did you hear them call Mickie James the GOAT?
Yeah, and I heard you got flogged for it on Twitter.
Oh, I got attacked by the Mickie James stands that I didn't know existed. That was interesting. Except one of them had a Trish Stratus picture, and I was like, "What? Why are you calling her the GOAT?"
That's very ironic.
Yeah, I was like, "Wouldn't Trish Stratus be your GOAT? Like, what are you doing here?" And then people were like, "Name why she isn't." And I was like, you don't want me to. Anyways, Mickie James. I don't have nothing against Mickie James. You and me agreed. If someone's gonna beat her, it's gonna be her. That doesn't mean I'm not upset. I feel like Deonna Purrazzo should still be champion. I don't know. I just feel like you have a 344-day reign. You have that reign for a reason. And you have it ended by someone who's past their prime. I understand she's a big name and maybe she'll bring people to... I'm sorry. Who's watching Impact to watch Mickie James?
Some people. I don't know the quarter hours, baby.
The people that attacked me. That's who. It makes sense because hopefully you have a Tasha Steelz, or I don't think Mercedes Martinez is going to beat her, so maybe Tasha Steelz. I legitimately can't name anyone else off the top of my head right now.
I don't think we know what Mercedes Martinez's status of the company is.
Well, I just know she has the shot because of the knockouts, knocked down, knockouts. Yeah. And I think Tasha Steelz probably makes a lot of sense as a heel champion. That being said, it is what it is. Good match.
Good match. Very good match. I think
Moose won. Nothing else matters on the show. I don't care.
I think Mickie James can still go.
She can.
I think she can still go. I think it was a very good match. I'm interested to see where Deonna goes next. I wouldn't be surprised if we see her go into the tag division. I don't know who she would team with, but we'll see. That's my prediction. Impact World Tag Team Title 3-way match where Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers, defending their titles against Bullet Club team members of Chris Bay and Hikara. We found out, of course, on Impact. We didn't know this on our preview that Chris Bay was in the show. And Finn Juice, David Finlay and Juice Robinson. Thoughts on this match?
Do you know who's part of Bullet Club?
Who?
The House of Torture.
I like how during the match Hikaleo went for like the too sweet, the under too sweet, and Doc Gallows was like, no. The only thing that matters is the high one. And I was just like, funny. Oh, there we go. There's a distinction here. I was hoping he would do an elite thing, but whatever. We'll get the little.
Hey, we don't have to see Gallows and Anderson in AEW anymore. That's what I was told when the Forbidden Door shut its door.
Yeah, I think someone was like, I think the best thing that came out of the Impact partnership was BTE. Was the BETE bits.
Great. That's wonderful. That's always what I like in my partnerships. I thought this match was good. Made me realize how much New Japan misses Finn Juice more than anything. I think they missed him a lot.
Well, I mean, that's my question is, I don't, at the time of recording, I don't believe we know World Tag League. I don't think we'll know until a little bit World Tag League participants. So I would not be surprised. Today? What's that?
Tonight? Is that later tonight?
I don't know. I was, maybe we'll find out soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if Finn Juice are going to work the tapings and then they'll head on over to Japan for a little bit, and then they'll get into World Tag League. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back for that. And then because then you can just stay even longer, do the Wrestle Kingdom spot, and you can come back to the States.
Thought David Finlay was going to NXT. Remember that?
Yeah, remember that story?
Yeah, and then NXT 2.0 happened. He was probably like, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I wonder if NXT 2.0 didn't happen, if he would have gone.
Sure sound like it. I mean, his dad works there. Triple H probably liked him. He's still young. He's very young.
How old is he?
But, Juice Robinson's an engaged
28.
Maybe he doesn't want to leave. Yeah, David Finlay's very young. I hope they do go back for World Tag League. They're very missed. They're very missed. They'd be very enjoyable. They just better not get in the way of House of Torture.
Yeah. Here we go. Call your shot gauntlet. I don't know what else there is to say about this. Moose wins. The Demon showed up.
There was 2 minutes that were really good. It was the first 2 minutes.
Laredo Kid was in there. Rocky Romero was in there. The physical embodiment.
Chris Sabin versus Rocky Romero. That was the first 2 minutes.
The physical embodiment of the Forbidden Door after every single promotion he's been in here. Yeah, I don't know if there's much to say. Was there anything that really stood out to you for the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match?
Yeah, how bad it was. It was like really bad. Like
I guess the 2 minutes. The 2 minutes.
And it's not even the demon you wanted. It's the demon it was the demon that Johnny Swinger thought was Kiss.
Can we just talk about how wrestling Twitter got and thought it was like, oh no, TNA being TNA, they just signed the demon for a full contract and whatever, and they're like not realizing that it's just a gimmick battle royal.
It was pretty impressively bad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's the standing for wrestling Twitter on
they also had such bad surprises on the whole entire show. Like there was rumors that Braun was gonna show up. Buddy Murphy might sign. They got nobody.
Let me see. There was a Fightful story about that actually. Let me see if I can look into that as well. While I look into that, let me hear your thoughts on the tag team match. Heath came out there of nobody. Turns out his partner, his best friend, Rhino, was able to support him as they went up against Diener and Joe During of Violent by Design.
Yeah, they answered our question. No, Eric Young was not ready to come back, which was very upsetting. This match sucked. I did not care. And it's funny because I liked Heath Slater and Rhino back in the day, but there was just like you just were sitting there like, can Rhino show up, please, so this can end? Like that's what the match was.
Yeah, the match was waiting for Rhino to come out.
It was not a pay-per-view match.
No,
let alone your biggest pay-per-view.
Again, this is their biggest pay-per-view. Fightful Select had learned that 3 big names that Impact Wrestling attempted to bring in didn't work out. The 3 names were Braun Strowman. The talent believed that Braun Strowman was coming in. Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that both sides had talks, but no deal was made. Bray Wyatt was also contacted about coming in. Fightful was being told... What's that?
Next week is when his 90 days are up.
I think that's part of it. Fightful is being told that a deal to bring in Bray Wyatt to Impact was never close to happening, and it's probably because his deal is not, he can't even do anything yet. So I think that's just people working themselves into a shoot. Another Impact name, which I found this to be quite surprising, Bronson Reed, who was booked and then unbooked for the show. He
was booked.
He was, according to Fightful, he was booked and then unbooked. I don't know why. It could be Impact. It could be Bronson. Who the hell knows?
It could be that all 3 of them heard that Moose was winning. They said no. See ya.
Bray's like, give me another 90, baby. Let me get out of here.
Oh my god! What? I mean, I understand if you want to bring any of them in, because like I think Bronson Reed's a good wrestler. I think Bray would offer a lot to Impact, and Braun's there. I mean, he's there. He's someone people know. I'm trying to find a redeeming quality. I'm having a tough time. They're better off. They're just better. They're better off as in the wrestlers, not Impact.
And that is our review on the Heath and Rhino match versus Violent by Design. Impact X Division title tournament 3-way match. Trey Miguel wins the X Division title by defeating El Phantasmo and Steve Macklin. I thought this match was great. I think this match challenged for match of the night. I don't know if it beat it, but I think it was very, very good. Steve Macklin was, to me, the most impressive thing coming out of this match.
Yeah, you just took everything that I was going to say, so I'm going to say anything.
They'll be your inspiration debut. Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay to defeat Decay. McKay defeats Decay, Havoc, and Rosemary to become your Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Thoughts on this match? I can't
believe you actually listened to the song.
I watched the music video for research purposes only.
Oh yeah, I bet. Mm-hmm.
Did you know the music video also has a jail motif?
Oh my god, what is happening in this world?
Everyone coming out of WWE is like, I gotta do the jail motif. Gotta get this in here.
Yeah, no one tell them that they weren't that good. This was just such a like, hey, we got them. Here's the belts. Yay.
We talked about this for our preview. Fine. We talked about this for our preview is that the inspiration here are not like the best of wrestlers. But we also felt that like the first match being Havoc and Rosemary is not going to do them any favors. You know, Havoc is Havoc. Rosemary hasn't been good since her injury. You know, in my opinion, she hasn't.
A lot of people agree.
Yeah, she hasn't been the same. So this match did them no favors. Like the first spot with Cassie Lee and Rosemary was like a botch. You know, it was. Yeah, you know, it's not. This isn't what it's going to be here, folks. I don't know. It's cool to give them the titles, but now it's like, you know, same thing we talked about last week. What division do we got? Who what match do you want to see with the inspiration? Inspiration versus whom? Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, that could be cool, I guess, but those are still very green people.
You just call Tasha Steelz green?
She's still a little green.
She's one of their best, which I mean says a lot about their roster, to be fair.
We're talking Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rayne.
That'll be so bad.
We're talking Decay again.
Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering is literally like the only good team.
Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering.
I think they should beat Moose. I think the inspiration should beat Moose. At this point,
be your inspiration.
Okay, I need you to stop saying. We need to stop talking about Bound for Glory. That's what we need to do.
But I had the countdown to Bound for Glory Impact Digital Media Title Tournament Final. Jordan Grace wins. Any thoughts?
That was the right choice.
Jordan Grace looks great.
She's yoked.
She looks so good.
She's in the best shape of her life, and they gave her a digital media title.
I thought the best two people out of this match were Jordan and John Skyler. I'm really enjoying John Skyler.
Skyler's good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying John Skyler. I wish they did more. They do more with him. Put him in the X division. I don't care.
Probably have him beat Moose. Yeah, who should beat Moose?
Who?
Think of the worst wrestler on Impact. Interesting. You came back to Moose. That's impressive.
I was gonna say Manny Lemons.
I don't even know who that is. Johnny Swinger should beat Moose. Moving on.
Hernandez.
Jordan Grace should beat Moose.
Yeah. Crown Jewel.
Oh my god! What is this show?
Crown
Jewel is actually a good pay-per-view. I'll go on record saying that.
Crown Jewel took place out of the morally corrupt Crown Jewel took place. $50 million Crown Jewel.
50 billion?
I would do that. I would go $50 million Crown Jewel. Morally corrupt Crown Jewel took place.
The morals are gone at 50 billion.
I mean, I think
you
even
telling me the morals weren't gone at 50 million.
I think those in the wrestling media would agree that
That would
maybe
be your one-man show.
yeah, I think those in the wrestling media would agree if it was 50 billion, we'll all be on that show.
Ring Post Radio presents
live
Crown Fools for $50 billion. All right.
One-time payment of 50 billion.
Oh, you guys want late night Ring Post Radio? That's more.
You get me wine drunk and we'll talk about it.
Oh my god.
Can we just talk about there was a lot of backlash to wrestling media, Twitter, whatever, what have you, about people covering the show and even saying the show was good, and and being like and feeling that they have to talk about the show and have to talk about what we did last week. Shayna's not going to be winning the Queen's crown because she's lesbian. Sami Zayn's not going to show up because of who he is. Doudrop's probably not going to win because of who she is. These things we talked about. There was a lot of backlash in that regard. Do you have anything to say about that? Because I have a thought about it. It's just.
I think people need to understand that this is the person's job. Like, this is what they're paid to do. It's like saying to just stop your work, stop doing what puts food on the plate of your family. Like, this is what they have to do. One of the websites I am an editor for, we only cover the title matches. Like, we don't preview, we don't review, we do nothing about that. I covered the show for them, and all I wrote down was Zelina Vega won, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Xavier Woods won King of the Ring. I didn't put Crown Jewel in the title. Like, there's ways to get around it, but I think it's very unfair to people that this is their job to blame them for covering something that is their job. You don't blame the people. If you're going to blame anyone, you blame a website. But at the same time, this is a wrestling pay-per-view of the biggest wrestling company in the world. It's a hard situation because of the morals at hand. But when Sean Ross Sapp is covering it, you have to understand this is his job. And
we talked about it.
We covered it.
We're covering it right now. We talked about it last week, and we did a preview. We also talked about it, how we feel about the show, how we don't like the show, how we don't like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, what they've done, their views on women, their views on LGBTQ, what they've done in the past with the Washington Post journalists, what they did with the wrestlers and the whole plane story, which I can't wait to see that Dark Side of the Ring episode, whenever that pops up. Like, we've talked about it before, and we even mentioned about whether or not we even cover this, but we felt we need to do it because it's also it's wrestling. That's what the show is wrestling. And I'm not promoting this show. Fuck this show. Fuck this Crown Jewel. I don't want to be talking about this. I'm only talking about what these wrestlers put in.
They have to. They don't have a choice.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Well, here's the thing. Their choices are weird. Yeah. It's weird how that works because, Kevin Owens is one person that does not do them. He does not do them whatsoever after the first one.
I don't blame him.
But then there's someone like Mustafa Ali who goes and is donating his entire purse to charity. So that's one way to look at it.
And goes to have the first Muslim versus Muslim match in wrestling history.
It's hard for me to blame the wrestlers who weren't part of the deal.
Yeah,
that was brokered between Vince McMahon and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The people you're getting mad at is WWE as a whole. That's fine. But what we are covering and what people are covering WrestleMania is the wrestlers and what their output was.
Yeah,
they were wrestling matches because that is their job.
Because you and I have decided, and what we're doing, we are burying Crown Jewel. But we would like to celebrate some of the great wrestling that was on the show.
You know what I will celebrate is what the women wrestlers are trying to do. I will celebrate that because if they're not doing that, you could see the look on people's faces when they were wrestling, the legitimate fans in the crowd. There was true happiness there.
Which good crowd. Best Crown Jewel crowd.
It was the best. It was. This was the best Saudi Arabia show that they've done. It's not even close. Like in terms of just the content, the wrestling itself, it was the best. So let's, I guess, break it down.
Universal title match: Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Did you just call him Lenzer?
I do that sometimes. Sometimes my mouth doesn't read right.
If it helps, I do the same thing.
Yeah. Roman Reigns ends up winning when both men are knocked out. Paul Heyman grabs the Universal Championship, throws it in the middle of them, and say, "You know what to do with it."
I loved it, actually.
Playing both sides, and then Roman Reigns eventually.
I know
wins.
people hate the mess and like they just like the wrestling and it, of course. But as someone that watches WWE, this is the story that was being told, and the idea was to further the story to WrestleMania because there was no Rock Roman match this year. This is your match at WrestleMania, and to me, Paul Heyman has played his role perfectly. I think everything he's done has been perfect. Do I wish the match had a not shitty ending of a title to the face of Brock Lesnar? Absolutely. But that was never going to happen. So, like, you just go into it knowing that you'll be fine.
My only complaint about it was I wish that we didn't continue the aspect of the story of Paul Heyman still stuck in the middle, still playing both sides.
Yeah, you wish he just picked the side.
I wish he just picked the side. I wish he just picked Roman, and then Brock can have more of the revenge aspect.
What if he didn't want to pick Roman?
That's the thing. Is the fact that was decision that upsets me, because it's like, we're trying to get to April. November's going to be a wash because we got Survivor Series, so we're fine with that. Brock can maybe get distracted by something.
He's suspended.
He can be suspended for however long, right?
He already is.
Well, there we go. He beats up Paul Heyman on Friday Night SmackDown because Paul Heyman turned his back on Brock, and then he gets suspended.
Well, he beat up Adam Pearce.
Yes, but we could do that with Paul Heyman, and then Adam Pearce is also there, and he gets beat up, and then there's ways you can do it.
Well, I'm just saying they already suspended him.
I know.
It was very easy to do.
But that goes to show is that
it was a good brawl though.
But that also goes to show that was the plan. So why not just have Paul Heyman decide?
Fair. That's fair.
That's my point of it. I thought the match was fairly good
until the shit ending. I think a lot of people could agree to that. I thought Roman, doing his dive over the top, like he doesn't do that a lot. So like that tells you, okay, he's doing this. Roman's a very good wrestler. I feel bad though that they have seemingly tried to mess with his feud, like his title reign here. They've given him a lot of weird opponents and whatnot. They gave him Cena, which was big, and they gave him Brock, which is big. But other than that, like since that Cesaro match, it's been just kind of there.
Well, it's because Roman doesn't have anyone.
No,
or never.
I think the roster shuffle hopefully gives him some new people.
Let me
there was actually something interesting that they posted the other day, which kind of told you who the main eventers are on the show moving forward.
Okay.
So let me get that up. You can talk. Okay, so they said pick the next championship challengers, and they have 4 options for each title. For the Universal Championship, they have Drew McIntyre.
Sure.
Cesaro.
Yeah.
Sheamus.
Yeah, I think he can easily slot him. So he's got
Jeff Hardy, the one that I have kept saying is a very easy story to make because people, for some crazy reason, cheer him the loudest. You give him a bunch of wins. He works up to a Universal title match. People are invested in that. It's a very simple story to tell, and
top dollar.
All right, moving on.
SmackDown Women's Title Triple Threat match. Becky Lynch defeats and retains her title against Bianca Belaire and Sasha Banks. I didn't like this match.
It was weird.
I felt this match was sloppy.
I felt they're trying to do a lot, and they're trying to do a lot, which is fine.
Yeah,
if you can nail it. And it never fully connected with me like I wanted it to.
Yeah. It had a nice chase finish, which I enjoyed from the triple threat aspect of it. But I felt that this match was kind of sloppy, and the spots didn't land. I felt like they were just kind of all over the place.
I give them an excuse though.
What's the excuse?
I think it's very difficult to wrestle in Saudi Arabia when you're a woman. I think you have a difficult time, like fully just like it's really tough to just relax and be calm, probably, because like
it's probably fair.
It's a very difficult situation. Like I remember when Lacey Evans and Natalia wrestled that first time. Wasn't a good match, but like I remember that felt very tense. Like it was a tense watch for me, let alone what they were probably going through.
Sure. I don't think that's incorrect. Big E defends his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. And Big E defends and wins after 13 minutes and 23 seconds. Big men. Big men. Slap and beat, baby.
I enjoyed this match a lot. You know, you knew who was winning, but I thought they had a very good physical match. Big E's the man. Like I think Big E's been a great champion. And it was a good way for Drew to end his road at Raw.
Yeah, go out against Big E. I think this kind of put over Big E a little bit more.
Good choice.
Good big meaty men slapping meat. That's what we all want to see, right?
Big meaty men slapping meats.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that for weeks.
Can't wait for Goldberg versus Big E, the dream match.
Yeah, baby. He won that match. So we'll get to that match, I guess. Xavier Woods against Finn Balor, King of the Ring final.
Yes. All hail King Woods. I was so happy. I literally could not care less like if Finn lost clean. I know people were like, are you kidding me? Finn Balor, who could barely lose to Roman Reigns, lost clean to Xavier Woods. It's like, listen.
Look, man, the demon lost. What are we going to do?
Yeah, I was like, no one's watching Crown Jewel, first of all. Like, there's not nearly enough people that care enough about this pay-per-view because, first of all, it's at 12 o'clock in the day. Second, like, who cares?
Yeah.
And third, all hail King Woods. Like, this is the only result that anyone wanted. They actually did it. I'm happy. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I will commend this pay-per-view for making what felt like all the right decisions. I think every single match, well, I mean, barring Becky Lynch, I feel like Sasha or Bianca, we could have avoided the whole Smackdown situation that we opened the show with. But I feel like they went with like all of the right decisions. You know?
I agree.
I feel I didn't really like this match too much either. I didn't like the finish where it was like Xavier Woods goes for the same move he got countered on.
It fell flat at the end.
Yeah.
For me.
It fell flat. But I'm not taking that away from Xavier Woods winning. His infatuation with winning the King of the Ring. He has done it.
His dream.
I also, and I don't know if you agree with this, I posted this in our Slack. I feel like, and I don't think it's happening overnight or within the year, but I feel like this is the beginning of the end of Xavier Woods in WWE and maybe wrestling as a whole.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. Xavier Woods has made a couple points about like, you know, leaving and he's already told people about his retirement plans and whatnot. And as I understand it, King of the Ring was one of his like final big accomplishments he wanted to achieve after all these firings of his friends and whatnot. And honestly, he's making video games. He's got the second career up and going. You know, New Day has lived its purpose. Got Kofi Kingston a world title. Big E is now being pushed as a champion. Xavier Woods got the King of the Ring title. It served its purpose. Do we need the trio? Is Xavier Woods? When I say sunsetting of his career as maybe a wrestler as a whole, or just moving to AEW or whatever, what have you, I'm not saying like this is the next year now. I'm saying like 3 to 5 years. I'm still saying we have plenty of time if Xavier Woods. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is maybe I don't know how much longer we have with him. That's my personal take. That's my personal opinion.
I don't see him leaving anytime soon. I think 3 to 5 years is fair. Like, if you know, since he's talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the time being, he's just happy to be with his, you know, Kofi and And he's been like that for a long time. Like he's been happy to just be with them.
Yeah.
I definitely think his friends getting released took a toll on him, and I think it takes a toll on the rest of his career.
And this is all pure speculation, obviously. I know nothing.
I feel like for Xavier, he would be more likely to just stop wrestling than just flat out leave the New Day and so on.
Yeah, and I agree. I think stopping. I can see him stopping wrestling. He can go into video games. He can continue the YouTube, Twitch career.
He'd be a great manager if he ever just wanted to do the out of ring aspect.
Completely agree. I don't think he'll be ever like gone from wrestling as a whole. But and this is all pure speculation. Again, I know nothing. I'm just thinking based on reviews, based on interviews, and based on him getting this achievement. I'm just sort of like, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying anything's happening around the corner again 3 to 5 years. That's my guess. So 3 to 5 years from now on the show, maybe I'll have a victory lap of a century. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley in a no-holds-barred Falls Count Anywhere match. Goldberg defeats Bobby Lashley in 11 minutes. Goldberg went the length here with an 11-minute match. Boy, howdy. Thoughts on this pay-per-view show match?
It was the best Goldberg match of his Saudi Arabia career.
Moving on, Zelina Vega defeats Doudrop to become your queen of the ring to receive the queen's crown.
A whopping 5 minutes. It was like a marathon out there. The match wasn't very good, but I'm happy Zelina won.
Yeah, Zelina was right move, I think. I don't know what Doudrop's gimmick is or whatever is happening, but
painful. I hate her music. I hate when she dances. I hate everything about it.
But Zelina Vega, we talked about this last week. Zelina Vega, if it wasn't going to be Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega is a great person that can do the character of the queen. That's why we also move Charlotte over to SmackDown so we can have Zelina Vega on Raw as the queen. Makes all the sense in the world. I think she can be really great at it. And I think it's something that she needed to maybe jump up into the next thing. In terms of character.
Yeah.
But we'll see if anything else comes out about.
We'll see. That. Might never see the queen again on TV, but we'll see.
RK Bro defend their Raw Tag Team Championships against AJ Styles and Omos, where they were able to successfully retain those titles.
There was a camel. That's about all I got.
Yes, I should say before the match, Riddle came out on a camel. I can confirm from the people I have talked to that, in fact, Randy Orton did not come out on a snake. So that
he did not.
He did not
come out on a snake.
We can confirm that here. Ring Post.
I just hope
exclusive.
AJ Styles becomes a singles wrestler again.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think this is the end. Hopefully, the end of the feud. WWE likes to continue their feuds into a millennia. But I think this would be a good end of the feud, and we move AJ Styles into the world title picture against Big E as a challenger.
Y'all want to go big? Let's say that.
Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali in a 10-minute match in Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. First ever Muslim v. Muslim match. So like they said, like Mustafa Ali and Mansoor both said, hopefully this is a match that is able to... inspire future generation. And I think this was a good match. I really enjoyed this. I thought this match was a really good match. I think they put on a good showing, good story. I don't want to talk about the after post-match part yet, but what did you think of the match?
I had confidence in saying this could have been the match of the night. It wasn't, but it was very good. I think Mansoor is very good. I think, he also dunked on Ryback this week, so that was cool. And I think Mustafa Ali is legitimately like the most underutilized talent in WWE. So I hope someday Mustafa Ali is appreciated somewhere because he should be a main event talent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the day Mansoor wins the WWE title at Saudi Arabia, like you said, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that next year is gonna be the IC title. That's gonna be my guess.
I can see it.
I'm pitching. I'm doing.
I'd be like Sheamus or something.
I'm doing these long-term victory laps. That's what I'm trying to do.
Just for Mansoor.
Mansoor is eventually going to win the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel. And I want to. There are people that have disagreed with me, by the way, Scotty. And I'll tell you this much:
I can see it though.
Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion because of an India TV deal. There have been stranger things to happen. So, Edge versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Edge defeating Seth Rollins. Great match. I think if you were super into the story, I wasn't super into the story, but if you were super into the story, I think you would super love this match. Otherwise, good match, great match.
It was exactly what the Hell in a Cell was made for. Like the Hell in a Cell was made for a blood feud, to complete the feud, to end the feud. Yeah. And I think this match reminded a lot of people that Seth Rollins is a good professional wrestler. I know it's been a while since he's done the wrestling stuff, but he's very good. And Edge, God bless the man, didn't lose a step. I think he's still, he just gets it. He has always gotten it. He doesn't need to do the oh my God moments to deliver a good match. I thought this was great. When Edge pushed Rollins into the cell and he went crashing through the table, that was like a great spot. I loved that spot. I thought this was the match of the show. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches in a very long time. This was, probably maybe on par with the Becky Sasha one a few years ago. I really liked that one. I liked Becky and Bayley last year, but there was no crowd. It was a feud worthy of the Hell in a Cell, but there was no crowd. So different animal there. But I thought this was a great match. And bravo to both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is an outstanding match. I'm glad that this is a feud ender, even though despite what what Peter Rosenberg said on the pre-show, that oh yeah, Seth Rollins is going to Raw, so it's the end of the feud. It's like, no, they're both going to Raw. I wanted to just bury Peter Rosenberg. But yeah, I thought this.
Do it.
I thought this match was great. I thought this match was outstanding. I agree. I think Edge has not missed a step. I think this is probably. I would have to look at back at my ratings, but I would say it's probably Edge's best match since his return. I'm not afraid in saying that. I thought this match was outstanding. Yes.
I will agree.
I'm not as high as Dave Meltzer, who gave it 4.75 star ratings. I'm not that high, but I thought this match was outstanding. Great match. Yeah. Great match in WWE for a while. Great match in a while.
Yeah, it's probably the best match since WrestleMania time off the top of my head, not including NXT.
Yeah.
Well, real NXT, not the mess that we're about to preview in 2 seconds.
Did you watch Crown Jewel's kickoff show?
No.
Well, the Usos won. They beat the Hurt Business. The match was fine. The match is, that's an okay. It was a okay match.
That's good.
I'm glad we broke up the Hurt Business to only have them come back and face the Usos, who are now SmackDown champions on Raw. And we just they're the SmackDown they're the SmackDown champions on Raw, and they didn't trade any titles.
They got drafted to SmackDown.
No, the Usos?
Yeah, they just happened to appear on Raw. There's no sense in it. They are drafted to SmackDown.
Are you sure?
I am 100% positive.
I don't know about that.
I know this for a fact. They were the first picks on night 2 by SmackDown.
I'm looking into this.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, I'm just saving you time.
Okay, you may be right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This entire time, I thought they were moving. Maybe I'm Peter Rosenberg in this situation. God dang it.
Just absolutely dunked on yourself. All right, let's finish up this show. I am exhausted.
Yeah, late night. Halloween Havoc.
Boom, chicka, boom. Sorry.
Oh, were you doing NXT 2.0?
Yes, I was trying my best.
Halloween Havoc. The fact that they're doing this makes me really think that we're not getting a takeover anytime soon.
We're not.
Yeah,
I think that was reported that we're not. There's
so
not one for the rest of the year. No War Games.
there's not, at least not scheduled, I guess. So no. Hold on, I have to do this for Mikey. War Games.
That sounded so painful for you.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of juice, Daddy's juice.
Please don't ever call it Daddy's juice again.
Io Shirai and Zoe Stark will be defending their women's NXT tag team titles in a Scareway to Hell ladder match.
AKA a ladder match.
I was going to say, I don't know what the difference is. Versus they'll be taking on defending those titles against Gigi Dolin and JC Jane of Toxic Attraction, and also Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada.
Persia Parada's terrible.
That last match was terrifying. That triple threat match with
where JC Jane killed herself almost,
like immediately in the match,
and then poor Io Shirai had to like try to make that girl wrestle. Yeah, that was pretty bad. It was terrible in every aspect. I feel so bad for Io. I just want her to go home so bad.
Yeah.
I just don't want her to be there anymore, and I don't want her on Raw or SmackDown.
At what point does Io Shirai how many times does Io Shirai jump off of something high?
Once. Wait, how high? Ladder?
Hell high.
Once. Well, hell's in the ground, so that's interesting.
Yeah, she's going in reverse.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what a stairway to hell is.
Well, she did it with Candice LeRae last year. It's just a ladder match.
Oh, was it? Was it the Stairway to Hell ladder match last year? Wait, are you serious? Wait, hold on. Are you serious? Did it happen last year?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into this. Is that they're doing the
same? They did spin the wheel, make a deal, whatever the fuck it's called. They got the ladder match then too.
Oh, it was last year. Please, Scotty. Last year was a tables, ladders, and scares match. This year is a Scareway to Hell ladder match.
Well, I will put $150 on last year's match being better than this one. Seeing that there's three, like, I think, okay to great wrestlers, and then there's everybody else. And that's half the match. So,
look, it's NXT. You make it a ladder match, you can make it more interesting. That's the WWE motto, I guess. So we'll see what happens. Yeah,
for the rest of the people that got hurt doing a suicide dive last. Now they're going on the Stairway to Hell.
Scareway, please. Nash Carter and Wes Lee of MSK will defend their NXT tag team titles against the Imperium team of Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel.
Yo, fuck the Florida fans. They fucking suck.
You texted me right before we started that you wanted to bury
Izzy
a child.
Needs to be
what
canceled.
Jesus
Christ need to be canceled.
These opinions are of Scotty's alone.
I'm just kidding. But like, it is a serious problem here that like all the fans got angry at MSK because because Nash Carter tweeted that a like 13-year-old girl shouldn't be wrestling in a ring. That's what happened, and that's why they're booed. Also, like, Izzy likes Tessa Blanchard, so may I say more?
Yeah, that was confirmed that they don't understand why they're being booed either by Fightful. There was an interview they did with Fightful. They don't understand it. They're comparing themselves to John Cena and hit the way he got booed. I don't know if that's the right way to debate about it, but they're saying that they'll kill those people of kindness. That's the idea.
MSK is great. Like, they're like very good. They're a very good tag team.
I think that they've gotten way better being in NXT, honestly.
Yeah, which is weird because that doesn't usually work out for some people. How do I say this nicely? Florida needs to stop, being weird with Is he?
You can just stop it being weird, I think.
Well, that's true. And when I said cancel Izzy, I didn't mean like cancel her, but like this is bad. This is really bad. Like what Nash Carter said was very harmless in retrospect, and the fact that they're getting booed out of the building.
Honestly, we're looking at it through the speaking out lens. Totally agreeable. No, she should not be. She should not be in there. No.
Exactly. And whoever that person was that said something about Nash Carter's dad, they can go F themselves.
I'll let that linger because I think it's true.
MSK wins, by the way. It would be really sad if all this happened and they lost the belts.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have an opinion to take on anything. I've been watching NXT 2.0 and
though Imperium's absolutely yoked right now.
Imperium's
Do you see Marcel Barthel?
Yeah, he
is ripped out of his mind. Yeah. I like him. He's good.
Yeah. NXT women's title match, Raquel Gonzalez versus Mandy Rose in a spin the wheel, make the deal match. So we'll find out what it is. Maybe it's a scare way. Maybe it's a tables, ladders, and scares. Maybe it's a coal miner's glove match. Who the hell knows? But it's going to be Raquel Gonzalez versus Mandy Rose.
Did you see what Twitter was doing with Mandy Rose this week?
Oh, yeah, I just ignored that nonsense.
That's how I felt, too.
So, yeah, I've been getting into wine recently. Jesse and I went to a wine tasting, and I haven't drank.
It's like a 2-hour delayed conversation. That needs to end. We need to end the show.
I'm trying to find something to talk about, man.
I'm happy you got into wine.
Gonzalez
is probably losing to Mandy Rose.
I'll tell you this much. I'm not much of a white wine guy. I'm not really much of a rosé guy. I'm more into the California Red. Does that make any sense? Does that tell me who I think is going to win? I don't know. Look into it, I guess. NXT title match, Tommaso Ciampa, Braun Breaker. Are we belting up Braun Breaker?
Hell yeah. Why not?
Let's do it.
Let's just throw shit at the wall and see what happens. That's pretty much what they did to make the NXT logo. So like, why not? Like, why not? Why don't we just run with this? Braun Breaker is the best part of NXT 2.0 by like this many. So just give him the belt.
He's great. Put the belt on him. I would like to see Ciampa have it longer, but 100% I felt from the jump that Tommaso Ciampa holding the belt is a transitional champion.
My terrible Braun Breaker impression.
Please.
You want a friend? Get a dog. I just can't wait for the inevitable Braun Breaker versus Tony D'Angelo. That's what we're all here for. Forget about it.
There you go. That's NXT Halloween Havoc.
Much like this show. Forget about it.
Who's hosting it? LA Knight?
Yes, he is.
Any takes on LA Knight hosting?
He should probably not be in NXT 2.0.
I don't expect,
he's like 45 years old.
I don't expect him to be in it much longer, I'll be honest. Oh, man.
That's got to be Kane. Oh. I'm just going to keep tossing sayings out there.
That's got to be Kane. Remember that guy?
Tired.
Wasn't that this week? The Kane thing?
I think so. I don't know. I lost track, dude.
Isn't
the NWA thing today?
Yeah, that's happening right now.
That's funny.
The NWA.
I'll just win. Is there a title on the line?
I don't know any. Dude, I don't know any of the card.
I don't really care.
I've been watching NWA.
Oh no, I saw the stupid main event was like Crimson versus like I don't even know.
Dax Jane or something in a steel cage match.
Yeah, and I was like, who? I was like, is that the Crimson from Impact, aka TNA? And I was told yes.
Yes.
Which blew my mind.
We didn't talk about this at all. So
probably
the show is on tonight. There's only, according to Cage Match, there was only 2 matches advertised: the Crimson Jack Stain steel cage match, and the other match, which was the Hex, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell, I imagine defending their titles against the team of Tootie Lynn and Kylie Ray. So we didn't talk about that whatsoever. But
did that even happen?
I doubt it.
Was it taped?
No, this show is live.
Then that title match definitely didn't happen.
Yeah. I don't want to go into the whole Kylie Ray thing.
No, I feel bad for Kylie Ray. I think
my advice: get out of the business.
all I have to say.
My advice is: I know that you're really good at wrestling, and I feel for you, empathize.
Just go be happy with doing something else.
Be happy. Get out of this business. It feels like, based on my opinion, that it could be the business. Get out of it. Do something else, please.
Yeah.
For you, for us as fans, I can't be doing that. I feel incredibly bad. I understand a mental health struggle. I've gone through my own stuff, but as a wrestling fan, we can't be doing this. I don't want to see you do this. Keep going through this. Tootie Lynn probably just lost out on a paycheck because of this. If this match got canceled, what are we doing? It's frustrating. But I hope she gets better. I hope Kylie Ray gets better. I hope she stays away. If she comes back again, I said this before. If she comes back, she should stay. But I
think give it a couple of years.
Yes,
I think they give it a year or two.
Yeah.
Just fully get out. Just fully get out and try to figure out who you are and what makes you happy. Because
I don't know who I don't know who would take her back. AEW, Impact, NWA.
It just doesn't work out. It's so sad because I think a lot of people enjoy Kylie's work. I'm one of them.
Yeah,
but
me too.
At the end of the day, just go be happy.
Please.
This clearly isn't it.
Please.
So that's that. I think we've talked enough.
Yeah.
I'm tired. You're tired. We both have work tomorrow. Let's stop talking about wrestling. I yelled about a child. So let's move on.
Thank you, everybody, listening to Ring Post Radio. We do the show typically every Sunday morning. So you can check us out on twitch.tv/countout. You can check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter at CountOutPod. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Knightsey. Plugs of the week. My plug, of course, is at Ryan Knightsey on Twitter. And the match of the week that I'm going to recommend to you all is the best match maybe in the entire G1 Climax, and that was Jeff Cobb versus Kazuchika Okada. That Block B final match. I thought that match was outstanding. I definitely go recommend. I think Jeff Cobb, from last year's G1 to even 2019's G1 to now, just the vast improvement. This guy is outstanding. Strap him up. Give me Jeff Cobb versus Ishii. I take that back. Cobb is. I think New Japan realized that Cobb is not the best with these big heavy hitter Ishii types. He is best with Okada, Ibushi. Your guys that he can throw around. So I don't know who to put him with, but I want to see more of this guy. Jeff Cobb versus Jay White. Ooh, baby. Ooh, yeah. Let's do it. That's my match.
You done?
Maybe.
That was good. I like the yeah. That was good. That was pure excitement for all the Twitch people that aren't watching us now. Which is good because that means the Izzy stuff will never be heard. So that's awesome.
We are publishing this podcast on Monday, by the way.
You could just edit it out. We could just never hear that. That'd be probably good. Or at least the cancel stuff. That would probably be good. Anyways, my match of the week is Pac versus Andrade.
Yeah.
Because you picked the other match I was considering. So I will pick this one. There was a top rope brainbuster that you have to see to believe. Still upset it didn't end the match, but that's a conversation for another year. Anyways, that's the show. Goodbye. See you later. Follow me at Scotty Wrestling. Blah blah blah. See you later.
I think we'll just end the show there.
Good. I'm tired. Yeah, edit the cancel Izzy part out. For the sake of me not getting canceled. Again. Please.
Oh yeah.
I'll edit it out.
Oh yeah. All right. Perfect.